Have you ever been told that mathematics began in Greece? What if I told you that thousands of years before Pythagoras was even born, African civilizations were already calculating the stars, measuring the earth, and writing down complex numbers? This is the hidden story of how Africa, not Europe, gave birth to mathematics. Stay till the end, because what you'll discover will completely rewrite everything you've ever learned about history.
Our story begins over 20,000 years ago, beside the banks of the River Nile, in what is now the Democratic Republic of Congo. Archaeologists discovered a small dark bone, the Ishango Bone. It wasn't just a hunting tool. It had engraved notches, perfectly grouped in prime numbers, addition and subtraction patterns. This tiny bone became the world's oldest mathematical artifact. Older than the pyramids, older than Stonehenge, older than Greece itself. It proves that Africans were calculating and recording numbers more than 10,000 years before the Greeks even began philosophy.
Fast forward to ancient Kemet, what the world now calls Egypt. Here, numbers became the language of civilization. Egyptian scribes used hieroglyphic numerals to build the pyramids with near-perfect precision. They calculated angles, volumes, and distances using formulas that later inspired Greek geometry. Their mathematical papyri, like the Rhind mathematical papyrus and the Moscow papyrus, reveal equations for solving algebra, fractions, and even geometry problems. This was 1,000 years before Pythagoras and 2,000 years before Euclid. Yet, for centuries, credit was given to the Greeks, who later studied in Egypt and took these ideas back to Europe. Mathematics didn't stop at the Nile. Across Africa, ancient kingdoms used numbers in trade, astronomy, and architecture. In Nubia, engineers designed temples using precise ratios aligned with the stars. In Yoruba culture, counting systems use base 20 mathematics, a level of abstraction unknown in most parts of the ancient world. And in Timbuktu, Mali's great scholars recorded advanced arithmetic and algebra in Arabic manuscripts, centuries before European universities even opened. But as centuries passed, Africa's contributions were buried under colonial narratives. The bones, scrolls, and manuscripts were locked away in European museums, labeled as primitive artifacts. The truth was hidden. Mathematics was born in Africa, nurtured in the Nile Valley, and later carried to Greece and the rest of the world. Next time someone says mathematics is Greek, tell them it was African first. The world learned to count because Africa taught it how. If you're proud of this history, don't scroll away. Hit that follow button, because this is just the beginning of the real story of Africa, a continent that shaped civilization long before Europe ever caught up.